So my body fat has been as high as about 25%. I was a pork chop, right? But it's also been super low. I've been about 5% when I used to compete in bodybuilding shows. I like to be around 10%. This is when I feel I look the best. I don't have to be like super crazy strict on my diet. But today, what I want to actually do is help you basically reduce your body fat as fast as possible. Two things I need you to do. I need you to track for the next 7 days everything that you're eating, everything that's going into your mouth, whether or not it's a drink, it's booze, it's alcohol, it's a burrito, it's Chipotle, it's a pizza. I want you to start journaling to figure out how many calories on average you're taking in on a weekly basis. This is going to be very important in terms of reducing your caloric intake to make sure that you are basically dialed in and reducing your calories enough in order to lose body fat. The second thing I want you to do is go online, probably Amazon, and get something like this, all right? It's a body fat caliper, all right? Now, you can use this on yourself. There are a lot of different tools out there in terms of like scales that you stand on or electric devices. They don't work as well in my opinion. What I would recommend is go to Amazon or wherever and grab one of these tools. Now, in terms of a caliper, there are basically two different options. One looks like this. The other one is a little like pinchy thing. The pinchy thing sucks. This is the best. And the reason why this is such an incredible tool is that even though the scale may not show that you're moving or, you're not actually seeing the results in the gym, when you actually pinch yourself in the specific areas, you're gonna see literally within a millimeter what's changing in terms of your body fat percentage. Caliper has these little tiny measurements, right? And they're millimeters. And then it's gonna come with a guide that shows you in what area to actually pinch. You take the three numbers, typically it's gonna be your pec, your thigh, and your abdomen, and then it's gonna tell you what your body fat. But the other really cool thing that you can do with this is pinch in other areas that you store body fat just to see what's happening and write it down. So instead of just pinching in the three areas to get your body fat, you can start pinching and recording the measurements in different areas, right? Your upper abs or your love handles, right? Your back. Or if you can't reach it, have somebody help you. Guys, these things are an amazing tool and it's something that I think that you should get if you're serious about just knowing what's happening. The next thing I want you to do is hop on the scale. Now, the problem with the scale is that a lot of times you're not gonna know what's actually happening with your muscle mass and body fat percentage. If you are gonna be working out, which we're gonna talk about a little bit later on in this video, and you're also reducing your calories, you could be packing on lean muscle, simultaneously losing body fat, and if the scale doesn't move, you're gonna think that you're not making progress. That is why it's so critical to have other forms of analysis, basically. Week number one, you're basically preparing. You're preparing by knowing what you're consuming to get a baseline and a benchmark so that you can adjust a little bit later in week number two. You're also measuring your body fat to know where you're actually starting, all right? You're also gonna be preparing and planning how you're gonna be making your meals for the following week, because honestly, the first week is all about preparation. You also need to know your numbers, which is honestly step number two. I've got a link down below to a BMR calculator. BMR stands for basal metabolic rate. This is basically how many calories you as an individual are gonna burn or use when your body is at rest, all right? Based on a few different factors. Your age, your height, your weight, but also your activity level. My BMR is like 1,500 calories. So if I was like literally like in a coma, I need 1,500. If I am living a generally sedentary life, I need like 1,800, right? And then it's going to increase in terms of the amount of calories I need just to basically maintain my current weight based on a few different things, right? How much you exercise, how intensely you exercise. For me, I intensely exercise like every day. And so for me, my BMR and what I actually need on a daily basis is around 2,600 calories. But I don't want you cutting calories or reducing your calories until you know what you're actually consuming. And that's why it's so important to figure out what's currently going on. Because if you think that right now you're like, oh, I need to eat 1,500 calories and then I'm gonna basically be in a caloric deficit of like 1,000, you may actually be in a deficit of like 2,500 or 3,000 if you're eating or consuming a lot more calories than your BMR or what your body actually needs. And so you gotta know where you're starting from. All right, the next thing we gotta talk about is fat loss, all right? In order to lose 1 pound of fat, you need a caloric deficit of 3,500 calories, all right? You can do that by reducing the amount of calories you're consuming or increasing the amount of exercise or calories you're expending, or a combination of both, which is what I'd recommend. In my opinion, it's a combination that's going to be the best and basically help speed up the fat loss process the most. You need to reduce your calories, you need to eat healthier, which we're going to talk about in a second, and you need to expend more, which we're also going to talk about. But next up, let's talk about diet. So I have done pretty much like every diet under the sun. I've tried them all, right? I've tried keto, I've tried paleo, I've tried, eating 18 times a day. What I have come to realize is you gotta find something that works for you and your lifestyle. So for me, every single week I will do a meal prep, right? Where on Sundays, I'll grill a bunch of meat. I'll grill salmon, I'll grill chicken, I'll grill steak, I'll grill pork, tenderloin, right? I like a variety of meats. Now, when you have it, you basically just stick it in the fridge in a little Ziploc baggie. I also will make an abundance of carbohydrates. For me, what I like is actually, let me show you. This here, barley, pearled barley. It's kind of like rice. Something else that's like rice is this. It's actually riced cauliflower. And this has been a diet game changer. For lunch, I actually will do Factor. You guys have all heard me talk about Factor. It is absolutely a must-have. If you are somebody that likes to eat healthy, stay on the plan, but not have to make all your meals, and also, it actually tastes better, if I'm being honest. I used to think that you need to eat like super bland, like boring stuff in order to lose body fat. And what I've come to realize after trying that and trying the other way, which is eating things like Factor that are pre-portioned, pre-planned, chef-inspired, never frozen, fucking delicious meals, right? All you gotta worry about is keeping your calories low. Look at their slogan, fitness starts with food. Guys, Factor has been a lifesaver for me because, number one, it's easy. And this is what I do for lunch every day. And the cool thing is that not only am I able to stay on my macro goals, because you can choose, for me, I choose Calorie Smart, which pretty much every meal is under 600 calories, right? It allows you to eat delicious food, and the quality is next level. And that's the one thing you gotta understand. Guys, when you just go to like a restaurant, you don't know what is in the food. You don't know if it's processed. You don't know if it's been there for a long time, or they're using extra fats, or they're using like extra salts. Not with Factor. It is chef-inspired, amazing, high-quality food that tastes delicious and is nutritious. So the way that Factor works is awesome. There's a special link down below this video. Go through my link because you're gonna get a discount if you use the discount code. I'll explain that in a second. But go through there and pick your plan, right? They've got a bunch of different options for you to choose from. They've got Calorie Smart, they've got Vegan and Veggie, they've got Protein Plus, they've got Keto, they've also got something called Flexitarian and Chef's Choice. And then you pick how many meals you want delivered a week. You can go 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, or even 18, right? And then once a week, your Factor meals are gonna get delivered to your door. It's in a box. It's got like ice packs in it. You take it out, you pop it in the fridge, and then anytime you're ready for a delicious meal, you're like, yo, I want cavatappi Italian style pork ragu. Are you kidding me? Yes, please. Pop it in the microwave, 2 minutes, and that's it. Actually, what do I want today? I'm getting hungry, right? Honey mustard chicken, the calories on this, 540. I could also do loaded mashed potatoes and shredded chicken, beef bolognese and mushroom lasagnetti, or however you pronounce it, 430 calories, or I could go with garlic butter chicken thighs, which I've had before, they're amazing, or the shredded chicken taco bowl. This is the one. Pop it in the microwave, 2 minutes. So that's heating up. Let me tell you a few other reasons why I love Factor. Number one, it saves you time, it saves you money, right? I don't need to go to the grocery store. It's delivered all to me, and like literally, if I were to try to buy all the ingredients to make these dishes, it would cost me like hundreds of dollars. It'd cost me like thousands of dollars because I'd probably waste so much because I wouldn't cook it in time. Not with Factor. The other thing, it saves me time. I don't have to worry about going to the grocery store and shopping. It's delivered right to my door, which makes it quick, it makes it convenient. In the old days, I thought I needed to like suffer to lose body fat. I'd eat like boiled broccoli and chicken and like steam nothing, right? Without seasoning, and it sucked. It was boring. Well, Factor allows you to break the monotony of a boring diet. Factor is what I do every day for lunch. I'll grab one, I'll take it with me, I'll take it to the office. Actually, hang on. Look at that. Are you kidding me? Shredded chicken taco bowl with roasted corn salsa. And I also have a cilantro lime sour cream. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's got rice, it's got black beans, the corn salsa. Oh my God. Oh my God. Like seriously? I wish like you could try this. It is so, There's 49 grams of protein in this dish, all right? Only like 19 fat, like 40 carbohydrates. And the crazy thing, 49 grams of protein. Yeah, exactly. Only 19 grams of fat, like 40 carbohydrates. Guys, right now Factor is a crazy deal for you. Are you ready? All right, if you go to factor75.com or click the link in the description, use the discount code ALPHAM50. You're gonna get 50% off. That's 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next box. That's code ALPHAM50. You gotta use it, and you gotta go to factor75.com to get 50% off your first Factor box, also 20% off your next box while your subscription is active. Guys, hit the link down below and grab some Factor. Next up, we're gonna talk about working out, gentlemen, and then after this, we're gonna tie it all together, right? Here's the deal. Working out, yes, you need to do it. If you're wanting to really speed things up, what I have found is cardiovascular exercise is definitely your friend. Every day. I do cardio every single day on an empty stomach, all right? I like to go out for a jog for about 45 minutes to an hour, but you might like the treadmill, or you might want to walk, you might want to do whatever. It doesn't matter what you do, it's all about burning calories. Gentlemen, remember, trying to reduce your body fat from diet alone is tough. It's better to have a multi-pronged approach. And cardio, exercise, is one of the things that you can do, right? You're gonna burn an extra like 300-400 calories depending on what you're doing. The Stairmaster literally will shred body fat off you the fastest. It's also coincidentally the hardest. And so for me, what I recommend every single day, cardio. If you can do it on an empty stomach, that is ideal. Because the truth is that doing cardio first thing on an empty stomach after you've been fasted all night is like doing cardio for an hour and a half later in the day, even if you haven't eaten. Why? Because you've gotten all the calories and the blood glucose and glycogen that's all stored up in your body that your body is going to use before it actually goes into the fat stores. Your body is going to try to utilize the calories to keep you going and to burn basically that's most readily available, right? And if you recently ate, it's going to burn those calories as opposed to the fat stores. But if you're doing cardio on an empty stomach first thing in the morning, your body is dipping right into those stored fat cells in order to use it as energy to keep you going, which is going to in turn speed up the rate of fat loss and the body fat dropping. And then I would also incorporate strength training. Strength training should be a part of your workout, right? You don't necessarily need to do it every single day. You've just got to find something that works for you in terms of a split. All right, now, in terms of maximizing the burning of calories, right? Doing something like compound movements, like benches, squats, deadlifts, anything that you're using a lot of muscles is actually going to increase your heart rate, and typically it's going to burn more calories. But whatever you do, just make sure that you're doing something that works and that you can do consistently, because the whole goal here is not just to reduce your body fat, it's to give you and build you a lifestyle and a way of life and eating and exercising that you can maintain for the next 10, 20, 30, 50, 60 years. Can you tell I was a trainer? It's what I love. I've always loved it. And I love the fact that you're about to do something incredible, all right? Something else we got to talk about real quick, I forgot to mention earlier, is hydration, all right? Something else I want you to do, right, is drinking 120 ounces of water a day. I've talked about that a bunch because not only is it how much water you need, it also is gonna help keep you leaner, it's also gonna make you a little bit fuller, and it's not going to basically make you retain as much subcutaneous water. And so, starting today, what I want you to do is start increasing the amount of water you're consuming, all right? Now, at first, you might think you're going to retain a lot of water, you won't. Your body will actually start to flush, and it will actually lose weight like pretty quickly. And so if you're retaining currently a lot of water, and you start increasing your water and start eating cleaner and reducing your carbohydrates in terms of the starches and the sugars, and you reduce the amount of alcohol you're consuming, which is another pro tip, cut out the booze, right? Alcohol is a ton of empty calories, right? When you cut it out, it's going to allow you to really get that metabolism cranking. You start doing this for like 2 weeks, you're gonna be amazed at what actually happens to your body. Now, once again, back to the numbers, right? All right, so now let's talk about what you need to do in order to lose body fat. Basically, you need to be in a caloric deficit of 3,500 calories in order to lose 1 pound of fat. That's how much or how many calories is in 1 pound of fat. So if you wanted to lose 1 pound of body fat a week, you need to reduce your calories, whatever you're currently consuming and burning, by 500. That's it. Literally 500. But I'm thinking that because you haven't been eating super clean and you haven't really been doing the cardio or exercising the way you have, you could reduce it probably 1,000 a day. What does that mean? That's 2 pounds of fat a week. That is 8 pounds of body fat in a single 30-day period. Now, in terms of how much weight is safe to lose, it really depends on you and your body and where you're starting from. If you're at like 40% body fat, you can lose more than like 2 or 3 pounds a week and you're gonna be good, right? At first, it's gonna be super fast and then it will slow down and taper off. When it starts to slow down and you're starting to feel like you're hitting a rut or plateau, it's time to change something. Whether or not it's your diet, shaking that up, going a little bit lower calorie, or changing your workouts, maybe bumping up the cardio, right? There are things that you can adjust in terms of the variables, whether or not it's exercise or your diet, right? In order to get things moving again. But one of the beautiful things, if you are keeping track on a weekly basis of your measurements and writing it down, it's a great way to actually see what's happening. Even if the scale's not moving, if your body fat is coming down, keep it going. This, in my opinion, is the fastest way to shred fat.